In early 1957, blacks are challenging local back-of-the-bus rules. Federal judges are ordering area public facilities to integrate, and state lawmakers are looking into outside race agitators coming into Florida. Into that charged atmosphere came Frank Legree and his family.
You stumbled into history, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
In January '57, Frank Legree, wife Helen, and two sons moved from Jacksonville to 1455 Northwest 55th Street. Not knowing, he says, it was an all-white block.
Like if I knew that it would have started all this trouble, I never would have moved in there.
Pickets with racist signs walked outside the Legree home. Garbage and rocks were thrown on the lawn and at the house, and he got threatening phone calls. At night, there were meetings on lawns just a few doors down, speakers denouncing Legree. Police sometimes stood guard, but the word from Police Chief Walter Headley was not reassuring.
The only thing you say, nothing we can do. You know, what you should do is move out, you know.
But others urged Legree to stay. Father Theodore Gibson and lawyer G.E. Graves, leaders of the local civil rights movement. Walter Smith, a DJ known as Butterball, who worked with Legree at WMBM Radio.
Hey, all I'm asking is for a little respect.
And Clyde Killens, who owned entertainment clubs in Overtown.
They got into the church and they raised money. They asked the community to help so that we could stay in and fight this cause.
So the community paid for all the jalousie windows broken by rocks thrown at the Legree home, and when WMBM asked Legree to leave, fearing his presence on air would make the station a target, Clyde Killens hired him as an MC in his clubs. But friends were giving Legree conflicting advice on the dangers his family might face. Attorney Graves urged nonviolent response.
We don't want to act like them. You know, those was his words at all time. We're not going to act like them.
But DJ friend Butterball and others disagreed.
Butter was the type that was ready for violence.
You feel any fear for your future safety?
No, I don't.
Frank Legree watches images of himself and all the trouble back in '57. Images compiled by the Florida Moving Image Archive, some of which he is seeing for the first time. He says he really was not afraid for his safety, for a reason kept secret at the time.
But I had something too. I was ready for them, you know. But
Did you have a weapon?
Yes, I did. But they didn't know it. And Father Gibson didn't know it.
What'd you have?
38. Yeah.
Stuck where?
In my pocket. In my back pocket. And,
Another secret reason for Legree's confidence, civil rights leaders had a spy in the segregationist camp who'd go to those neighborhood meetings and report back. A man named Hampton Shaver.
He wanted money. And the NAACP, you know, told him that they was going to give him the money.
That spy was how Legree knew in advance a cross was to be burned on his lawn. A cross wrapped in kerosene-soaked burlap, later brought to court. 4 men were arrested on Legree's lawn as they struggled to erect it. Legree and supporters watched it happen.
It was 5 of us inside the house.
The would-be cross-burners busted by cops hiding in the bushes. The media had tipped them off about Hampton Shaver's info. The group's leader, Fred Hockett, an operative of the White Citizens Council who had just moved to Miami to organize segregationists here.
Residents of other states are coming to Florida to agitate and foment racial dissension.
After the arrests, a state legislative committee intending to look into civil rights groups began investigating segregationist groups as well. The Herald reported Hockett might have stored dynamite in South Florida, and after a blasting cap was discovered underneath Legree's porch stairs, his supportive white next-door neighbors decided to move.
They figured that their house probably blowed up too if that was a, powerful enough bomb.
No dynamite was ever found. Fred Hockett and his cross-burning cohorts wound up in court before a clearly agitated Judge Mitchell Goldman.
This is a heinous offense.
He was what they call was a Jew judge. They didn't want him on the bench.
They tried to get him removed.
They tried to get him removed and everything, yeah.
But because anxious police had moved in before the cross on Legree's lawn was on fire, the men got only a couple of months in jail.
The charter only allows me to go so far. As to the penalty.
It took several more months, but eventually civil rights struggles moved beyond the house on 55th Street, and Frank Legree's stint as the center of controversy ended.
Well, my future plans is to stay in my house, to stay in Miami, and live there for the rest of my life with my family.
He did, of course. In fact, Legree's family still owns the house on 55th Street, now in a predominantly black neighborhood. Legree remains proud he stuck it out here and a little sorry that more kids don't understand or appreciate what he and so many others went through. In Liberty City, Nick Bogert, NBC6.